Call 433-2000 for a free bankruptcy DVD. In a jam? Call Sam, 433-2000.
Bill Simpson is drowning in credit card debt, upside down on his home, and his mother in Chicago needs his care. What can he do, and will he be able to care for his mother?
I don't think I'd be able to work. I'd have to take care of her full time.
But now, after some tense moments, Mike and Elizabeth learn they are facing possible Chapter 13 or Chapter 7 bankruptcy. They could lose their home, and Mike may have to give up his motorcycle.
You said you had a Harley, right?
Yes, I have a Harley.
Well, the husband had a Harley, I think it was, and he was very attached to it. Do you have any idea what it's worth?
Probably a lot.
I don't even want to talk about this, to be honest with you.
The real issue was whether they were going to also keep both cars, which both had payments on them. And they really couldn't afford to keep both cars, but again, that was a personal choice. Okay, we can arrange this so you're not going to lose the bike. Okay, if it's your primary transportation, we can protect it, we can exempt it.
Can we instead get rid of one of the cars, or?
You could do that too. That might make sense since the bike is paid for, and that would eliminate a payment. So those are some options you have. I mean, you could actually keep both cars and the bike and still not have an impact on your plan because the cars don't have any equity, so they're not really assets. They're more liabilities than assets since they really don't have any equity in them. Whereas the bike has equity, but we can protect it as your primary source of transportation.
You're not going to lose the house. I put a lot of work into that house. Don't want to lose that house.
Now, if you tell me, hey, look, I don't want to hold on to the house, it's upside down, even with getting rid of the mortgages, if you don't want to hold on to the house, you could do a whole different approach. You could do a Chapter 7. And that's a straight bankruptcy. You file it, and you clean up the debt, and you walk on. But eventually, you're going to end up, moving out of that house.
Well, how long
you
would
keep
it
the
take
bike.
for us to be able to rebuild our credit and move on to
Chapter
another
7 is
home?
quicker.
Really?
It's a little quicker. Bankruptcy and a Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years, but the debt itself is discharged. So even though you have the bankruptcy on your credit report, you don't have the debt load. And so at most, I would say a couple of years, you would be back in the driver's seat with decent credit again, being able to borrow, even though there's the bankruptcy notation on your credit report. That's a Chapter 7, but you almost for sure you're going to lose the house. So.
And where do we go?
Well, you have to rent a place for a while. See, bankruptcy is not perfect, but it just gives you some options that you don't have otherwise. So there's negatives with each kind of bankruptcy, but it could get some of this pressure off of you. As far as the costs involved, that's not really an issue. You shouldn't factor that in because either bankruptcy is going to cost you roughly $1,500. You don't have to decide today. I'll give you a sheet. You can take it with you. You guys can talk about it. You can come back if you need another consult. I know it's a lot to absorb in one sitting, so we can do that. But I can just give you the sheet that tells you how to get started if you want to get started.
So what do you think? How do you feel after all that? I know you didn't want to talk about the B word.
He's going to let me keep my bike, it looks like. It's our home. I don't want to lose our home.
We've been through so much, and I kind of want a new start, And
I still want this to work out. I just hope that this option will work. And
I really think we made the right choice coming in. I think we chose the right office too. There's options. They've explained to us. It's just so much more hopeful now.
He did take the time to listen to everything. I didn't feel like I was rushed or, he did listen to what we had to say.
You want to go to your favorite restaurant?
Can we afford it?
Bill Simpson is one of those clients that's actually doing a proactive. He's not found himself in too much of a bind in the sense that he's planning ahead.
My name's Bill Simpson. I'm a retired Chicago Police Department.
So Bill shows me here that you have a pension that you receive each month?
Yeah, from the Chicago Police Department. I've got medical disability.
And then you also have a job, you work security?
Yeah, I picked up a job here in Vegas at a local casino. I make about $2,000 a month. I moved here to Vegas about 5-6 years ago. Got divorced since then. Bought a house when it was booming. Put a lot of money down on it. It's not worth even a third of what I paid for it.
You got a house here. Looks like you're way upside down.
Yeah, I bought it for $250,000. We moved out here from Chicago. It seemed like a great deal. $50,000 down. Now the house is worth about $70,000.
Who's we?
Well, I came out with my wife from Chicago. She left me last year with her new boyfriend, went to Hawaii, Waikiki. I'm in a situation now where my pension, I'm working a part-time job here in Vegas, and my mother's got dementia. I've got to take care of her. I don't know what to do. My credit cards are maxed out, and my back's against the wall.
He's found himself in a position where his mother is going to need his assistance in the near future, and if he moves back home, he'll be unable to support her and pay his bills. What do you want to do with that house?
Well, I'm not really sure what I want to do now. I just found out a couple months ago my mother's sick. She's got dementia. She needs full-time care. I need to take care of my mother, yet I'm morally opposed to filing bankruptcy.
Coming up, Sam receives an emergency phone call where a foreclosed home could be sold out from underneath the owner. And Bill has to decide whether his moral objections to bankruptcy are more important than caring for his ailing mother. The answer to this question coming up after this break.